excellent, excellent question. I love this. And I love this because it's like, you can't really, like, I guess I obviously am going to publish this online, but it doesn't have this like huge draw as it should. And it should, man, because every fucking guy should have the opportunity to have really, really good sex that just blows the fucking mind of a woman, that it just totally dominates her and makes her feel like a woman, man. Makes her feel like a woman, because that's what she'll say afterwards. She's like, I did not know I had a pussy that could do all that, that could take all that, and I want more. And it makes all the sex in my life fucking seem bad. I don't even want to fuck somebody else because it's going to suck. I can't tell you how many times I said that. And I can't tell you guys how average, medium, or perhaps medium small my dick is, and how like tired I get, and I'm not that athletic to have sex. So how did I get these things to be said to me? And how is it that, I mean, man, I guess you don't know now, but I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, the women that I'm with are fucking whipped all the time. They're fucking whipped good. And how is it a guy like me? Like, I mean, fuck, dude. My wife, Maria, loves dick. She like will not stop talking about dick. It's like one of her favorite things. And like, I'm a pretty average dude. How did I land her? Like, the first time we had sex, how did she, like, she had not had a relationship in, I forget how many like years, but she had many partners, probably like 50 partners in between that relationship and me. And that was her whole life. And she just had sex and enjoyed it and liked that. In fact, when I met her, she was with one of the guys that she was hooking up with, and she had just gotten off of a road trip with 2 other guys all around the country and Canada, and having not only sex with them, but sex with a bunch of people. How is it that I have sex with her once and then she leaves all that behind and stays? And this is like the common thing that happens with so many different people. So sex is psychological, people. This is what you need to understand. You do not need a lot in order to make it happen. Like, it's such a psychological thing where women get into it and they feel it in a different way than we understand it. And sex is psychological to us, and it can trip us out. And women probably who are very sexually active and get all this, like, talk about, oh my God, I can't believe, like, you know, I'm like, you know, don't even have that much to offer, and he thinks I'm the world or whatever. Guys always think that, so they get that. So there's so much to how we think and what we're feeling that goes into that whole sexual recipe. And the question that came up was, I was having sex with a girl that is a really big chick. She was 6 feet tall, not big in the fat sense, but she was a tall girl, and it was hard to really to maneuver around her. And she actually said to this guy, she said, man, you're not being rough enough, or you're not being dirty enough, or you're not being aggressive enough, or whatever it is. And I've also had that experience too, which is a funny story. And I know how bad that feels, because in that funny story, oh my God, I hooked up with a chick. It was on Christmas Eve. This was so bad. Oh my God, she was a waitress. And we were just talking about CJ and the old Dallas crew. And I met her at Sherlock's in Arlington, Bar X, or X Bar in the old lay reports. And like, he was like, why aren't you fucking her? I was like, all right, man, I'm going to go for it. And so I hooked up with this girl. This girl bit my lip. She was biting my lip while we were making out. And I was like, oh, she likes it rough. So I like did a little choke to her. I'm like, you like it rough? And she kept biting, and she kept biting harder, and she wouldn't let go, and it started bleeding. And I was like, okay, stop. And she just laughed. Well, she's biting my lip, and my lip is bleeding. She started laughing. That's not a good feeling, people, man. That's fucked up. Anyway, dumb me continued to have sex with her. This girl was like punching me in the face, like gouging at my eyes, not in any sort of cool way. And dude, and she was like, I thought you wouldn't be such a pussy. So believe me, I know that sucks. And let me tell you how non-sexual that is for me. And afterwards, after I really thought about it, I was like, man, this girl wanted me to beat the shit out of her. That's like I think that's what she was going for, because what I was giving her wasn't that. But anyway, in the norm, that is not the norm. That's like some crazy shit, and probably comes from some insane abuse that I can't even comprehend. But she's actually happily married now. I'm still friends with her on Facebook. But anyway, so I feel sorry for the dude or whatever, or he's doing something that is just perfect for her, I guess. But with the norm, and with almost every chick out there, there's a way that they like to have sex that may not be in their social presentation, that may not be in what they say they like, but there's this rough side that they all seem to love. Okay, just that one girl that I told you about loved this extreme example of that I was fucking weird. But everybody else, you could access this part very easily, and it was more psychological than what we did. So what are some of the things that we think about with that? We think about choking. We think about slapping. We think about slapping the ass. We think about pounding really hard. We think about all the sport fucking stuff. We think about dirty talk. Okay. We think about maybe even being rough with the mouth or spitting on the face, or we think about all sorts of different sex, like anal sex or titty fucking or slapping their tits, or a lot of the stuff that we see in porn. And this is also where it's like porn is definitely a good resource for this, but they're doing it in a little bit of a different way. Where I'd say the best porn to watch on this, and to where you could see, and you can really see the psychological switch. Two things. All right. Net Video Girls, friend of mine, good dude, interesting guy. But, he does a lot of this stuff. And if you watch the older stuff, it's way, way better. The stuff from like 2003 or 4, those times. But then also Pierre Woodman, who is doing these things. He's like turning out these girls in Eastern Europe. But these girls are not expecting sex to go in those directions. And he gives them this amazing ride, and he does not do much. Okay. And so what he's doing is there's some slapping, there's some talking and all those things that are coming through, but it's just a little bit, it's not as dramatic as you see in like the paid porn actors that are like actual sexual athletes and doing things to look good on camera and not necessarily to feel good. What Pierre Woodman's doing is something to feel good. But that all being said, like all those things can be done, but each one of them has to be done in a way that impacts the girl properly. So let's go back and talk about them. I apologize if I forget any of them. Dirty talking. This has to be done so that it impacts her in the right way. It could be all sorts of different ways. Okay. And this is again where men could talk about the different things. Like a lot of girls, when they're orgasming or when they're being fucked or when they're being fucked hard, and we'll get to what that means. They like to be called a whore. They like to be called a slut. They like to be called like, you like this dirty pussy being fucked. A lot of them, and I'll say this, and I'm saying this in the context of a men's group and all this different stuff. But man, my friend Sean was crazy with his stuff. He was actually a short little Mexican dude and a real strong presence. And he'd always say, man, I love saying racist stuff. I bring out race, or I bring out family. And so he'd say, like, do you like taking this Mexican dick? Do you like being fucked by the gardener? And he'd fuck these white chicks that were like really prim and proper. And so he'd bring all that stuff. What would your mom think if she saw me fucking you right now? And it was just like all these different things came into play, but they came in at the right time. Okay. So it's like, and a lot of that was just letting the gloves fly, like letting the passion of the moment go. So these things all need to be said at the right time. And I think it's important to have a men's group that talks about different types of dirty talk and dirty talk experiences that come within sex, because it's huge. And they all have different meanings too. Like one of the ways, like if I really want to whip a chick, like if I want her to stick around, if I want that my dick goes in her and she could fuck 100 dicks and she will come back to my dick. And it gets kind of freaky. Like you don't want to do this. Like there's different things that I'll say in dirty talk that will get that there. Okay. That's really, really, really big. And you don't want to play around with that shit because the girls will try and get pregnant and stuff. And if you don't want that to happen, that's a bad thing. But the other things, like what were we talking about, was like slapping the face, choking, slapping the ass, spreading the ass cheeks apart, spitting on her ass, spitting on her face, spitting in her mouth. All these things are very acceptable things to do in sex that most girls like. Actually, I always tell the story when I was having sex with a girl, and dude, we were going off. This girl was a very prim and proper girl. And she was telling me some of the craziest dirty talk shit that I've ever heard. It was fucking amazing. It was awesome because it was like so much was being brought at her. And I'm fucking her. I'm fish hooking her. I'm grabbing her jaw. Like sometimes I'll grab their jaw and just like open up their mouth or whatever and slap their face while I'm doing it. All real light, all those things happening. And again, we'll get to this shit. But I'm doing that. And I was like, open your mouth. And I spit in her mouth and totally freaked out. She's like, stop. Those things will happen too. And it always feels bad. That's one way to kill the moment. But again, that's one of those things that usually a lot of people like. Okay. Another thing that actually happened to that same girl was something that I used to talk to about with Punisher, reality TV show star, male stripper. This guy, big time player, dude, Jesus Christ. And one thing that he actually brought up, because he was a male stripper, was he would windmill chicks. So he'd get girls' thighs on his arms and hold them up, and you just use your legs and you windmill them, you move them, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. You can do that shit in the club, and the girl will be, oh my God, I can't believe he's doing that to me. It's like I'm just being taken. You are doing nothing. You're exerting very little physical effort. And we'll talk about that. And actually, one thing that, again, I talked about with him and some of his friends was that I did to this one girl that I spit in her mouth. But again, she was like, I can't believe this happened. I like eating pussy. So especially if I don't know them, I want to discover that. I want to fucking see what that's all about. And I want to make my mark on it. So I put her against the wall. Very simple. Put her against the wall. Okay. Go down, eat her pussy. You're at a bad angle because you got to tilt your neck way back, and it's just fucking hard to do. Got her legs, put them on my shoulders, squatted up. Pretty easy to do. Okay. If you have some leg strength and your back, you're not putting, if you know what you're doing, you're not putting that much pressure on it. And guess what I'm doing? I'm eating her pussy against the wall while I'm squatting her and picked her up. She's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't believe it. Oh, fuck. It's like the biggest thing in the world to her. Very little effort. Let me tell you something, guys. Okay, so we'll jump to this now. The physicality of it, the hard pounding, the fucking, the putting your whole back into it, and my buddy who's got the 6 foot tall chick may not work as easy with her doing the squatting thing. You probably could do it with your muscles. It's so long and lanky. It's hard to do, and you can kind of lose air. You need a small girl for that because you breathe easier, and it's just good stuff. But the thing is, with all that hard fucking, all that pounding, all that fingering, all that whatever stuff, man, you do not need to exert your physicality as much as you think you do. Okay. And I'll tell you this, if I exert my physicality as much as I really, really want to, if I want to be that rock star porn guy, I'm going to blow my load right away. Okay. I'm not going to be able to hang. It'll make me come like way too fucking fast. I can't. And especially if she's talking to me and she's going, oh my God, I can't believe it. Oh, Jesus Christ, your dick is so fucking big, blah, 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 blah. And it's not. See, especially if all that sort of stuff happens, like, man, I'm going to fucking blow my load because sex is psychological for me too. So I got to slow down. So what do? I pick my moments. All right. So with my physical exertion, what I realize is I need very little in order to make the sex good. Okay. So we really, really, if we're going to have sex for 10 minutes, okay, let's say we have sex for 10 minutes, not a long time. Okay. What am I doing with that sex? The beginning of that sex probably could be important, but it doesn't need to be if it starts out slow. So what am I going to do right away? I'm going to eat her pussy really. I'm going to grab her body really hardcore. I'm going to want her. I'm going to be possessed. I'm going to have my eyes nuts and just being like, yeah, I want these, like, fuck, just give me that. I can't even fucking finish the sentence. Give it to me. Da, da, da. I'll be pretty crazy, especially if it's the first time we're having sex. So the introduction to it is nuts. Okay. The introduction is always intense. Now, the other thing too is I remember I was fucking this one girl. The first time I ever did this, I was fucking the stripper, and interesting girl, like, in my opinion, very attractive, horrible lay, because I'm like fucking her, and I had her sideways, and so we talk about all these different positions, but I had her sideways, so it's like her fucking legs are like both facing this way, and whatever. Anyway, so I'm fucking her sideways, I'm fucking her. And she's like, oh, yeah. She's like half-ass into it because she doesn't know how to have sex well or whatever yet. And I didn't want to be the guy to teach her because I was like, gee, this is fucking stupid. And there's fucking so many stories about this chick. And I'm fucking her. I'm just fucking her kind of. And she's like, yeah. Fuck me harder. And I'm like, I don't want to fuck her harder. I'm like, I don't fucking want to do this. And this is really where I discovered it. I'm like, I want to get done as quick as possible. I want to pull the like fake orgasm thing and go beat off in the bathroom because it's boring as fuck. And so I just grabbed her ass. Okay. So her ass is right here. I'm fucking her. And I was just barely moving my dick. And I just started pressing down. I wasn't even pulling towards me. So if you see, like, I wasn't even doing this. I was just pressing down and bouncing her on the bed. And I just started breathing harder because I was like, is she going to buy this? This is like stupid. I'm like wasting time. I'm like, just like that. Right. And she's like, oh my God, fuck. Oh, Jesus Christ. I was like, it's amazing. I'm like not even doing anything. My dick is like not even, my hips are not moving. My dick is only moving because I'm pressing down on her ass and it's bouncing up off the bed. So I slapped her ass and she said, oh shit. And so I pulled the back of her hair and pulled her up. And then I pulled her arms. That's another thing. I'd pull her arms and put them behind her back or whatever. And just pull her arms when I'm sitting here and like, she's not even looking at me this whole time. She's like way in the moment. And I'm just sitting there like, holy shit, this is like so unenjoyable, but it's interesting that this is happening. Because again, like I don't like to have bad sex, and I don't like to have contrived sex, but I was like manufacturing a sexual experience right here. And it was like so fucking interesting to me. And it was so bizarre because in a way I wasn't even that guy doing it. Of course, if she opened up her eyes and looked at my face or whatever and like saw that, she would totally get that this was like, you know, it would break it immediately. So I was like, fucking A, this is unbelievable. It's unbelievable. You know? And so I started experimenting with this more. You know, I'd be having sex with a girl. I'd be in missionary position. I'd be on top of them. I'd put my arm around their head. I hold it really high now because I'm with Maria, but you know, usually it's down here. I have my arm around their head, around their shoulders. Their head's right here. And I would get tired or I'd get too excited. I'd be ready to blow my load. And just fuck me, fuck my pussy hard. This is what I would do. I would always talk about this with my friend Alex. And him and his brother would just go off on it. They just laugh their fucking asses off, right? And I would just go, I would keep my pelvis in the same area, right? Not move it. Because if I was going to move it, I was going to come. Because this girl, like I needed to chill out, man. I needed to chill out because like she was getting too excited, right? And I'd just be like, just do that. And then, and breathe hard and be into it. And then, you know, I'd grab their head or grab their neck or whatever. I'd look at them or something like that. Mind you, I'm barely moving. Or another thing I would do now. So my big dick friends, you can't do this. All right. This sucks. It's a shitty thing. You got to be a small dick dude or a medium dick dude, average guy, a little bit above that average or whatever. You can do this. You stick your dick all the way in them so it doesn't move, but deep because women like it deep, right? Right. And so it's all the way in him. If you have a big dick, like my buddy Alex, he couldn't fit it all the way in him because he's got like this giant fucking anaconda of a dick. And you stick it all the way in him and then you just don't even move and you just move your arms around their neck. You know, it's around their neck or however you're holding them or whatever. Say, oh my God, oh Jesus, oh Lord, da 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 da. You can start doing some people this really pisses them off, but well, I won't say it, but you can start doing quotes from famous politicians in their sex lives and when they say certain things. But anyway, and so you're doing those things and man, they respond to it so favorably. Let's say you don't like that position being on belly to belly with them. Let's say you're pushing yourself up. You can do it there too. You know, where I'd say if you push yourself up and they're still on their back, so you are still in missionary, do it so their tits shake. You know how you make a girl's tits shake if you don't want to do it with thrusting your pelvis really hard? And don't get me wrong, you can thrust your pelvis, man. You can do that all you want. But if it gets too tiring or you get too excited, you don't want to do that. So what do? You put your hands on their shoulders or your hands on their neck. Okay? And it's not like you're choking them. You're not choking down on the neck. You're just hands on the chest. So it's like your hands are on their clavicle area, right? And you could be choking a little bit, but it's got to be a place where you can push and move their body, or it can be on their shoulders, right? And you just start shaking them with the pump. You can do a light pump. You can do a little baby pump, but press on. And if you're on a bed, press on the bed, press on the bed, press on the bed. And you just time that. Oh my God. And their boobs will be shaking. Whoa, look at that. Like a limp dick. The mic just fell. But you can do that and it causes that stimulation to happen, man. It's fucking amazing, right? It's awesome. It's awesome. Another thing you do, if your dick just can't take any more pussy, you take it out. You take it out. Here's a couple things you can do. It's going to fuck up the mic a little bit. Sorry. But if let's say a girl's pussy here and this is her clit and you know, you can do a whole rubbing thing, you do the finger bang thing, you do all that sort of stuff. But man, this is an amazing thing. If you grab it, you can even grab and put your hand in the pussy and collapse it hard. Press hard on where the clitoris is. Like you press hard, man. You're right there. I love that I'm doing this to a microphone. It's amazing. Key. Or if you're on top and like her belly's right here, you can press hard on it. And just be like, yeah, you let it, you move it around. You have that shaking motion. It's not doing much, but the fact that there's that pressure there, but get full suction, full collapse, like your hand is fully sealed over the clit. And maybe even the whole pussy, but the clit part, whatever, you get it. and those types of things. You can also do your finger work, you can do your oral sex or whatever, but it's that you like it. Okay, so there's all sorts of things you can do. You can hit the G spot, you can hit one area, whatever. But if you do too much, like me, I'll be so aggressive with that, it might start to hurt them and they want to stop. And then you think you're doing a good job and you're like, I'm going to break through that. I'm going to keep going. I'll make that mistake a lot of times. It's not good. You don't want that. What you want is you want the tenacity. You want it. Man, I can't tell you how many women call me. They're like, oh my God, it's like being fucked by an animal. It's like being fucked by like a crazy person. It's like as if I was like in prison and just like a bunch of guys just mobbed me. And so it's like fits into this fantasy, but it's all, dude, it is all psychological. Here's the other thing. It's amazing. So remember I was telling you that I was having sex with the girl, the stripper, and it wasn't that good. And I was like, oh my God, this is boring. And she's like, fuck me harder. And so I just kind of like fake it, right? Check this out. As I started to experience, and especially when I started talking with my friend Alex a lot about it, because we would talk about it, him and his brother and I, we would talk about the different things and the different things that women loved and how much after they had sex with us, they'd worship our dicks. And we couldn't understand it because there was nothing special about our dicks. Well, maybe Alex more so, but his brother and I were like just like these average dudes, right? You know, there's nothing special. So why did these girls like our dicks so much? Like, what did we do? And I remember we were talking, funny story, but we were talking with this one girl that was fucking Alex's brother. And she was talking, she's like, oh man, he's so good. He's so good. He uses his hands when he eats my pussy. And I'm like, man, I never use my hands when I eat a girl's pussy. And he does all this and da-da-da-da. And it was just so different than what I do. But at the same time, what it really meant was the experience. See, this is where it's like, you always got to listen to women because they tell you something. But if you listen to them without translating what they say, you're going to get it wrong. You're going to get it wrong as a man. You're not going to get it, right? And so it's like, you got to listen to her. But what she's really saying is she liked this guy and she worshiped his fucking dick because the way he made her feel during sex. What she's listing out is the checklist of what he did during sex. That shit can change. So we were talking about this stuff because we both did different things differently in the bedroom, right? And so we started talking about it more, and it was like, man, have you ever fucked a chick and you start to go limp because you're not into it? Or you fucked a chick and you already like came too many times, or you had sex too many times a day or whatever, and you couldn't stay hard? Or you're fucking a chick and like you're just not, you're tired, right? And you can't keep going, but she still thinks you're going harder. And so we started talking about this more. And we were like, yeah, man, like there's times where I've been fucking a girl and I start to go limp and she's talking about how big and how good my dick feels. I was like, what the fuck, man? And then we started talking about how important it is for women to get cum and to make you cum and to know that that's their way of making you cum. We were like, fuck, man, it's fucking crazy. What if we started fucking girls and just when we're fucking them, like we just start talking about how big and hard our dick is getting, even if it's going limp, and how it's getting hard. And so we were like, let's start doing it. And so we came back. Guess what the results are? It made him go fucking crazy. We'd be fucking these girls and go, oh my God, my dick's getting so fucked. You can fucking feel, I can feel it. I can see my dick like moving your belly button, which would never happen, at least for me. Like, and actually where I got that from, because one time one of my stripper friends was talking about how her boyfriend's dick was so big that she could see it pushing her belly up as he was fucking her. And I'm like, how come that doesn't ever happen when I fuck chicks? Like, what the fuck? Because I don't have this monster fucking gigantic dick. So I started saying that. I was like, man, I can see my fucking dick making your belly rise. And they're like, oh my God. They start feeling this. So they're like, oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, this is amazing. And at the time, I'm not even fucking him that hard. I'm not even fucking him with that hard of a dick. I'd start saying things that were like, oh my God, I can feel the sperm in my nuts getting fucking all crazy for you, Jesus, because I knew that sperm and the way a girl made you come started to have like a big fucking like, you know, it had a presence to it, you know? So I started saying shit like that. And then I started saying things like, man, can you feel the ridge on the head of my dick? Can you feel the veins in my dick getting bigger? Tell me you could feel it. Can you feel it like, you know, straightening out all the wrinkles in your pussy and da-da-da. And it just made them nuts. Could not believe it. The best part about this all, and again, this was more of an experiment. I don't like having sex. I like having good sex. I like bringing a girl into this. And so it was like I didn't like to really have like a limp dick while fucking a chick. Actually, sometimes this made me more aroused because I would say this stuff and they'd get more excited. But then I started saying things like, man, can you feel the sperm in the head of my dick just building up and building up all this pressure? This does not happen. And most women probably know this does not happen. But man, in the act of sex, it is fucking nuts. It is fucking crazy. It is insane. And this is a funny thing too, because girls will all tell you, like, when guys are fucking a girl, and just like me, you know, what did I say when I didn't have any skills? I'm fucking a chick. I'm fucking a chick. And I'm like, oh, do you like that? Oh, da, da, da. Say all those things that guys say. Oh, do you like that? And I still say this. You like that? Does that feel good? Oh my God, your pussy feels so good. Oh geez, my dick feels good. They all hear that, right? But rarely do they hear, oh my God, your fucking pussy juice. I can fucking smell it as I'm fucking you. Oh man, your pussy juice is so thick. It's sweet. My dick, it's like making my dick harder. Oh my God, your pussy feels like, geez, I can't take any more of it. I take my dick out and I go, I can't take look at how wet it is. Look at how wet you fucking made my cock. I would fuck chicks. Dude, this is serious shit. All you need, and you can read all the KFP stuff. There's all this sort of shit. It's all on TSL online where it's broken down a lot more. But 6 points of escalation. If I have 3 minutes, okay, before I'm gonna come, and my dick can be in that girl, and as soon as it enters in her, I have 3 minutes to come. I'll make that chick have the best experience of her life. I think it was some of the best sex of her life. Now, if it's any less than that, it gets a little bit, you know, on the like, man, we didn't fuck that much and didn't really perform. But 3 minutes, man, that's all you need. You fucking, yeah, I remember I was hooking up with this girl, and this again, some of the stuff I would say before I had sex with her, and she was one of those girls I wanted to keep around. I wanted to have good sex so that she would, you know, continue to have sex with me. I don't care if she slept with anybody else. I wanted her to be my fucking chick, right? And I said to her, when we're making out, we're hot and heavy, my dick's out. And that's another thing too, guys. Take your dick out first before her pussy's out. My dick's out. I eat her pussy. And I said, man, if I stick my fucking cock in you, I don't even know what's going to happen. Like, I don't like, I want you too bad. And she just sat there and she looked at me and she's like, then have me. And I was like, boom. That moment my dick was in her, man. Fuck, dude. This is another thing. I did the fake orgasm thing that my buddy Joel taught me way back when, which isn't much, but within 3 minutes, because dude, this girl was just nuts. She had never been fucked like this. Like her ex-boyfriend fucking, hey, thank you, man, for sucking so bad. But I stuck my dick in her. I started fucking her. I started, and with her, moved her legs apart, spread it out, you know, spread her one on her like thigh, knee area, one on her shoulder, and like on her back. And I like to lie down. I don't like to sit up and do all this like fancy shit. I can't balance and my hips are all weird or whatever. So I put her down and I start railing. She's like, oh my God, you know, grab her tits, slap her tits once, grab her by the throat and fuck her, get like a good grip, because you can get a grip. And if you grip someone's neck, you can move down with your forearm and put it against their chest, and you have like actual body control. You guys should wrestle or do jujitsu. You'd understand this stuff better, or judo or something like that. And so I'm holding her and I'm just having her there. She's, oh my God. And we're like 30 seconds into it. And I'm like, God, fuck, man, Jesus Christ, you're making me want to treat you like a whore. God, look at you. Jesus, look, open up your fucking mouth. Open up your fucking mouth. Open up your mouth. All those things or whatever. Man, I'm good. We're like a minute into sex. We're like a minute in that. Oh, fuck, man, your pussy's so good. You're fucking making me insane. You're going to make me blow my load. You fucking like having that pussy. And so I'm very comfortable, right? I'm very comfortable in sex. I mean, when I was having sex with her, I was like towards the end of my PUA career. I still get nervous talking during sex because your brain goes different. It's not that you're nervous. It's just you can't talk. Your motor skills are meant to be down here and not in your mouth. So it's your logical brain isn't coming out the same. So it's like I'm having sex in those ways, but how do I describe it? I'm just more used to it, and it's easier for me to say these things, right? But even when it wasn't easy for me to say them, no problem. But in this specific example, like she is going crazy. And she's screaming and going nuts and all this stuff. And I'm just like, you like that my dick is going to fucking come? You like that your pussy is doing that to me? Tell me you like it or I'm going to stop. Tell me you like it. I'm taking my dick out. Tell me you like, oh no, I like it. And one of the reasons why I take it away, it's a KFP thing. And so I'm fucking her. I'm like, yeah, you want to fucking take my cum? You want to? And I had a condom on at the time. This is the other thing too. It's like I have a condom on. I'm fucking her. And it's like, you feel my fucking cum coming out. I'm not even fucking coming. Like, you feel that hot fucking cum shooting up in your pussy, all that shit, man. You like that going in you. You want my fucking cum to make a baby in you or whatever shit. I said, don't say that unless you really want to trip a chick, right? It's not so good. She's like, oh my God. Ah, da, da, da. Man, I fucking took my dick out, rested because I needed to rest, make out with her. I'm like, I'm fucking still hard. I take the condom off right away or wash my dick off or whatever. Really washing nothing off, throw it in the toilet. Kills baby seals, throw it in the trash can, shred it first. My friend Jason Savage used to save his condoms so that he would like prove that, I don't know, somehow it was like evidence. It wasn't like a trophy. It was like, in case like I get a rape charge, this can prove that. I mean, I don't know how that would prove anything, but I just thought it was interesting that he would do that. But so anyway, and then I'm like, man, I'm still fucking hard. I'm still hard. I gotta go. We gotta. And she's like, oh my God. Man, there were like 3 or 4 times I did that. 3 or 4 times I did that night. And then the last time I came was actually when I came, and then I made her see it. And it's like the most amazing thing to a woman, right? And so there's all that stuff going into it. And so that last time it's like she's jerking me off, and I'm like, I want you to look at me and like tell me that was the best dick you ever had, or whatever stuff it was saying. And tell me how fucking wet your pussy got. Tell me how much your pussy like is fucking owned by my cock. Tell me how my name is written inside you. Tell me how I fucking broke your hips. Like, there's another thing too, man. Girls get crazy when they talk about all this dirty talk stuff. So what's going to mark them, make them? Now, of course, there's ways to say this perhaps in the social dialogue, but most likely you're going to piss people off. Start having sex with girls and having this experience sexually to know how to talk to them socially about it. But when you're having sex, you'd be like, man, I'm going to fuck you so hard. I'm going to break your hips apart. I'm going to fuck you so hard that you won't be able to walk. I'm going to reshape your vagina. You won't even be able to get wet for anybody else. I'm going to fucking dry up all your glands. All that shit. Like, all your eggs are going to drop in your pussy just to have my baby, whatever, stuff like that. All these things cannot happen. But if you say it at the time, it's huge. And so this time when I had like fake cum 3 times with this girl, basically what happened was I knew I would like blow a huge load because it's like massive. It's like this girl's like, wow, I made this guy's dick come 3 times and now he's going to come like a fucking gallon of cum. And the other thing too is another thing, guys. When I was 17 years old, I was an idiot and listened to my friends and got my dick pierced. And so when I come, like I can't like shoot like these super hardcore loads because I got 3 holes where it comes out of, right? So, and let me actually just tell you, if you do have a dick piercing, all you have to do is show that to girls and they go, oh my God, that's so gross. And then they will make it a point to fuck you within a week. It's pretty crazy. It's like the best. I put that on a PUA forum once, and then like 4 dudes got their dicks pierced. And I was like, dude, you idiots, you fucking dumbasses. But hey, if you have it, put it to use. But basically, so like if like I gotta build up, like if especially my first time with a chick when I'm really excited, like that's when I got my shot. And if I can do it and like cover the holes, then it will actually shoot like, like a normal guy, like I did before when I was 17, which I don't even remember what that was like anymore. It's so hurtful, so sad. But anyway, so I pull it out. I'm like, I want you to jerk me off and I want you to tell me whatever, blah, 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 blah. I get her to tell me. I'm like, are you ready for my cum? And I make them work for it all the time, especially if I haven't had sex with them yet. And then I show them all that shit. It's like just fucking Spider-Maning all over the fuck out of the place. And like, oh my God. And they give you this look like, oh my God, I did that. I am a woman. I can't believe it. Holy shit. And then I just pass out. And I'm like, yeah, baby, come here. And it's good to go, man. And that would be a few things that I would have sex in, like some key ways. One of the things Maria said to me, she said, the first time you had sex with me, I'd never had sex with anybody like that before. And I'm like, wow, you've had sex with a lot of people. This is like years later or whatever. Or maybe, 6 months later or whatever, when we're in love. It's all established. She's like, no, man, you were just too crazy. You were like fucking saying the craziest shit. Like, I'm not used to all that talking. And like, it was just so fucking nuts, man. And like you were saying things like take my life and like feel me, and like you were just so nuts and it was like an animal. And she was like, I was driving back and I was talking to my friend. I'm like, I am not going back to see that guy. And I'm like, yeah, but you came back. And she's like, no, but it was because of that I was like, I'm not going to see that guy. I'm like, but you came back. You never came back for any other dude, but you came back for me. So I'm going to say it's because I did all that shit. And she's no, no, no. And I'm like, not to like take anything, we're obviously in love and all this sort of stuff. But like, if I do that to any girl, she comes back. And she's freaked out by it. She's rattled by it. She's, I don't know. This guy was just like, dude, this is like, Chris, it's probably a bad idea. This is a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway. That's what happens. So be careful with it. Stay away from the I'm gonna make you pregnant, or like you're made for my cum, or like you don't want to make them work too hard for your cum because that will trip off some shit. But all the stuff like pacing yourself, being physical, being physical less with your hips and more with your body, more psychological. You can say things like, I can feel you. I can feel your, like if you're fucking them or making out with them, or if you're fucking them and they're in the sexual state, let's just put it, you can do this when your dick's not in them, but let's just say when your dick's in them, because I don't want you guys to fuck this up because then it'll be weird. But if your dick's in them, you can be like, I can feel your tits right now. I can feel, I'm like in your body or whatever. I can feel your tits tingling. I can feel your lips. Oh my God. You can say shit like that. And it adds so much to it, and it will just make them crazy. But go animal, man. Allow yourself to be an animal. Put your eyes like fucking crazy, you know, like have it come out. You don't even need to fake it. Like you need to allow it to be there and be the dude that wants all of her juices all over you and all that sort of stuff. It's so funny too, because like there's so many girls that like I'm friends with that eventually I hook up with, and I always say some consistent girl stuff like oh my God, I hate it when I fuck a guy and he doesn't clean up his own cum. And I'm like, what? That like, I mean, that's happened to me. Like, I can't remember when that's happened to me. I've remembered when I fucked a girl and she'd wanted to wear my cum. I remember like when I fucked a girl when she wanted me to like cum in her clothes and then put them on and go and hit on guys. I remember when a girl took my cum and rubbed it all over her chest and kept it on her. I remember when she put it in her hair or put it on her face or put it in her mouth, and or even if she, I don't know, if she doesn't like it in her mouth, she'd still put it on her body. She'd go talk to people. And then I fucked those chicks. And then I fucked those chicks, and those chicks liked my cum. It's just, you got to get them psychologically into it, man. You get them invested in it, make them feel like a woman, make their bodies to be used like a woman, and also them use your body, because one of the key points of women and sex and femininity is the ability to take all of man's aggression, take everything and transform him into this little precious baby. And also to be able to shape a man that when she puts her sex on you, it defines you, redefines you, and makes you, different, man. Women are powerful people, man. They're badasses, right? The most badass a man can give to a woman, the most badass self, the biggest, most alpha shit, almost any woman can take. That's just how women are built. It's just, they're not the ones putting that out there. We put it out there. They take it. They reshape us. It's pretty awesome. Allow them to do it. That's it.